Police arrested Darius Miles of Washington, D.C. yesterday.
Start today by offering our deepest condolences to family and friends of Janae Harris. Started putting our plan in place together to handle situations like this.
Usually this is my favorite time of the year because I'm covering the NFL playoffs on microphone and it's very active and it's a lot of fun, and we had some great games this past weekend if you're a football fan. But on top of that, for basketball, it's when we begin to see some trade rumors and teams are starting to drastically alter their teams. And I live for this type of stuff. I think it's a lot of fun to cover it. Unfortunately today, I don't have anything fun to bring to you guys. As a matter of fact, this story is a horrific tragedy for every party involved. This video is likely to get demonetized, so if you want to leave a like to push it in the algorithm, that would be appreciated. And of course, this video is sponsored by Janae Harris's GoFundMe account. If you want to support her family in this very, very dark and horrific time, a link to that's in the description down below. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The Alabama Crimson Tide are primarily known for their incredibly dominant football team that is literally a pipeline of players from the NCAA to the NFL. They've done this for years and years and years, but recently what's been a little bit more under the radar up until a couple years ago is their basketball team is also pretty freaking good. As a matter of fact, they're a top 5 ranked team in men's college basketball. Currently, they are ranked at number 4. They've only lost 2 games out of their 17 games so far, and this is due in part to their very dominant recruiting class and their head coach Nate Oates. Now, an individual that was part of their 2020 recruiting class that featured 5 brand new players, with this player being the 4th highest ranked player out of all of them, Darius Miles, has been on the team for the past 2.5 seasons. Now, for the most part, he has been a bench player for Alabama. He appeared in 53 games, he made 2 starts, and both of those came in his sophomore season last year. This past season, Darius Miles' role has diminished. He played 7 minutes off the bench in the Tide's season opener, and then he missed the next couple of games due to an ankle injury. After that, you didn't really see much of Darius Miles. He played in 4 minutes of a loss to UConn on November 25th. He did not participate in Alabama's wins over a pair of number 1 ranked teams in North Carolina and Houston, and he saw limited action in 4 other games in December. Now, on December 28th, Darius Miles was not even on the bench for Alabama when they faced Mississippi State. At the time, Coach Nate Oates addressed his situation point blank, saying that Darius Miles was out with a personal matter, and we're not sure how long he's going to be out for. We're supporting him through it and trying to help him through it. That's why he wasn't on the bench tonight. Personal matter, not an injury, not quite sure how long he will be out. Miles will not play in Alabama's next 3 games either, against Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Arkansas. Then he appeared on court in athletic clothes for Alabama's pregame warm-ups ahead of its game Saturday against LSU, but an hour before tip-off, Alabama issued a statement about Darius Miles. And this is where things got a little interesting, because originally we were told that he was out due to a personal matter, but now the note this time read that Alabama men's basketball announced that junior Darius Miles will be sidelined for the rest of the season with an ankle injury. Miles sustained the injury during preseason camp and saw limited action in 6 contests, along with ongoing rehab since the original injury. After consulting with medical staff and Andrews sports medicine foot and ankle specialist Dr. Norman Waldrop, it was determined to withhold Miles from basketball activities moving forward and focus on his rehabilitation. Now, I'm not sure how real this is. I don't know if this was a cover-up or anything like that, but even if Miles was healthy, he would not have been a huge part of Alabama's team this year. Regardless, even though a player isn't necessarily incredibly active on a basketball team, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a remarkable opportunity. Alabama is constantly on national TV because they're a top 5 ranked team. You could get in tight with the coaches. You could try to learn the business side of basketball. You could try to get into coaching and work your way up from an assistant coach all the way up to either a collegiate head coach or a high school head coach or even an NBA head coach. The sky's the limit when you're a player on a Division I basketball program that is succeeding. As a matter of fact, his head coach even said that Darius has tremendous upside as a big wing that can play multiple positions. He's exceptionally skilled for his size on the perimeter. One of the best aspects of his game as I watched him was his passing ability from his position. His outlet passes and ability to handle the ball in the break will enable us to play even faster than what we had before. He has all the tools to be a great defender and rebounder as well. So if Darius Miles really worked on his game, he may have been in the NBA as a 3-and-D. But it looks like that's not what's going to end up happening, because a few days ago, we got a horrific report that Darius Miles was officially charged with ending someone's life. According to Myron Metcalf, Alabama men's basketball player Darius Miles and another man have been charged with capital in connection with a Sunday morning shooting near campus that ended the life of a 23-year-old woman. Miles was booked into Tuscaloosa County Jail around 6:45 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, the jail official told ESPN. In a statement Sunday, the university said Miles, a junior reserve forward from Washington, D.C., is no longer on the team. When you find out the reason this entire incident allegedly took place, it'll definitely make you vomit in your mouth, because it is the saddest reason I've ever seen for an incident like this. So let's get to the police report first. According to Tuscaloosa Police Captain Jack Kennedy, he said the shooting occurred early Sunday morning in the strip off of University Boulevard near campus. He said Jamea Harris of the Birmingham area was shot and killed. Miles, who's 21 years old, and Michael Lynn Davis, who's 20, of Charles County, Maryland, were both charged with capital murder. That charge arose because he shot into a vehicle and ended the life of the woman who was in the vehicle. At this time, it appears that the only motive was a minor altercation that these individuals had with the victim as they were out on the strip, and they didn't even have a previous relationship. The driver of another vehicle, in which Harris was a passenger, approached campus police near Bryant-Denny Stadium at about 1:45 a.m., saying someone had shot into the vehicle, and he fired back. One of the suspects was treated for non-life-threatening injuries at a local hospital, and Kennedy declined to disclose who fired the gun or who was hurt. Let's know what Miles' attorney had to say about this. While Darius has been accused of being involved with this tragedy, he maintains his innocence and looks forward to his day in court. Our firm's own investigation is ongoing, and no further statement will be made at this time. Miles' bio was removed from the athletic department website, and the university said in its statement that he has been removed from campus. Now, his head coach, Nate Oates, had this to say about the situation.
Start today by offering our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Jamea Harris, young woman, daughter and mother, taken way too soon from a senseless act. This is an incredibly sad situation. Our hearts go out to our loved ones. We're keeping them in our thoughts and prayers as they continue to grieve. Came together last night and talked, thought it was important that we were all here and around to support one another through this situation. This being a pending investigation, there's nothing I can add that hasn't already been shared. She went back home to D.C. to deal with the personal matter that he was out a couple weeks with, and he had the ankle injury that was kind of ongoing. So I mean, he's had multiple issues. They were all completely unrelated to this incident Saturday, though. Sorry, Sunday morning.
So it looks like that was just a coincidence earlier, but get this, man. This is what makes it even more sad. The reason why this whole incident took place. We also have footage, by the way, of the horrific incident. I don't want to show you the footage of this incident on YouTube. If you want to go and look at my Instagram story, it'll be up for the next 24 hours, but I can't post this footage onto YouTube. A Ring camera actually took a video of the horrific incident as well. So according to the victim's mother, Miles took her daughter's life because she wouldn't talk to him. She was a beautiful young woman who loved her family, and most of all, her 5-year-old son Kane, who was just trying to enjoy her weekend with her cousin that attends the University of Alabama and her boyfriend. Harris's cousin, Kennedy Henderson, calls the slain woman a humble soul, and she was always a happy soul. Kept the cousins together and pushed us to be the best of us. She was the best little cousin I can ask for, honestly. Family and I are in disbelief that something like this happened to her. We just ask for prayers at this time. You don't have to be a genius to understand how much of a horrific mistake Darius Miles just made. But from the perspective of the victim, which is what I think is the most important here, there's now a 5-year-old son that is going to grow up without his mother. I don't know what the situation that Kane has with his father. Probably the grandmother is going to take care of Kane, but that in of itself is really sad. I mean, just because this one guy allegedly was being ignored by another woman, he decided to get up and end her life. I can't even begin to explain how stupid that is. I mean, it blows my mind that someone would stoop to a level like that.
Hey, you're not going to talk to me, so yeah, I'm going to end your life.
Really? For Darius Miles, man, I could go on and on about how much of a generational fumble this was. How much he altered his life, his own life, his children's life, his family's life, just by being an idiot in this instance. Every single man in this world, no matter how attractive or how rich or how famous you are, you're going to get rejected by a woman, man. That's just how it is. It's a part of life. If you don't get rejected by women, you're gonna take L's elsewhere. What are you gonna do every single time you take an L? You're gonna go ahead and end that person's life, and you just have to take it in stride. Either that woman isn't the right woman for you, or maybe that woman has other stuff going on. You can't act like a petulant child and say, oh, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cause this woman and her entire family and her offspring a tremendous amount of pain. Instead of potentially being in a situation where he could play in the NBA, or he could play overseas, where you will make hundreds of thousands of dollars, by the way, to be a dominant forward in Greece, China, or anywhere else, he's now gonna spend his next couple years in prison. By the time he gets out of prison, who knows what his job is going to be? Who knows what kind of life he's gonna have? Who knows if he's even gonna get out of prison? At this young of an age, 21 years old, a girl turns you down. You probably would have bumped into another girl in 2 to 3 months down the line, maybe even less, considering the fact that you're a basketball player on a collegiate basketball team, top 5 collegiate basketball team. Instead of just moving on with the on to the next one mentality, you're gonna now spend a tremendous amount of time in prison if these allegations are true. I have tremendous amounts of empathy for the victim's family, man. Please, if you have extra money, just go into the description down below and donate it to her GoFundMe, because this poor young man is officially an orphan because of the selfish act of Darius Miles, if these allegations are true. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.